Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I've heard your questions and I've got the answer for them. We are going to be going over the top 10, no bullshit, best bang for your buck items in Save the World. The absolute bare bones for you to get from Stonewood to Twine Peaks. Just make sure you put down the popcorn and pick up a notepad and take notes because we're going to be going through this at a good pace. So first things first, in Save the World we've got several types of missions. I like to give them building category, the elimination category, and the farming category. Now, no matter the category of mission that you're playing, there are two weapons that you can use throughout this entire game from start to finish. Now, that might sound boring on the surface, but trust me, it's a lot more fun than losing.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself?
And that first weapon is of course going to be the Xenon Bow. Why? Okay, I've spoken about this weapon plenty in all of my previous videos from start to finish. The reason why this weapon is so good, it's extremely cheap, it's extremely durable, it can shoot through walls. It's also one of the strongest weapons in the game because it is a sniper that can shoot through multiple husks at once, as well as having an AoE partial effect. It doesn't just directly attack with its arrow. Imagine that arrow has like a circle field around it that also connects with other husks, making it a really easy and lazy weapon to play with. It costs 100 legendary flux with 1500 weapon designs if you want to get it from the collection book, but if you are lucky you can also get it from llamas. Legendary flux can be purchased from the store, and this is where you're going to get pretty much the majority of it. The only problem is you get 50 a week, so make sure whenever you see it in the store, buy it, and always make sure that you've always bought all of them. And it will come as no surprise that the second weapon I recommend is the Plasmatic Discharger. In combination, the Xenon Bow and Plasmatic Discharger you can get from Stonewood to Twine Peaks with these two weapons alone. The Plasmatic Discharger is expensive and costs a weapon research voucher unless you get it from the shop during the 4 Nightmares Venture season, so you have to be around playing at a specific time. Otherwise, you just need to get level 12 in the current adventure season and you will be given a weapon voucher which you can then use to research this schematic. This is pretty much being used the same way you would use a Xenon Bow, but rather than using it on little husks, you only save it for bosses or SSDs. With this weapon alone, I have been able to solo all my SSDs pretty easily and underleveled with no problem whatsoever. So that and the Xenon Bow are the two weapons you need at the bare minimum to make this game so much easier. So next we're going to be talking about the building category. Now in Save the World there are a ton of missions that require you to build and defend, and what better hero to use than a constructor. Now there are two constructors that I believe in unison are the absolute best in this game, and obviously one of them is Base Kyle, the boy in front of you. As you can see, he increases the health by 84% on anything connected to the base ability. This is insane. It slows down the progression of all of the husks from tearing anything down. It makes it so that you can literally AFK most of your game in combination with traps that I will be sharing with you later, but this hero is a must. But for this building category you do need to combine him with another constructor, and that of course is our big bald friend Nox. So Nox's perk is power modulation, which means that all of the base affected structures are going to heal for 4% of their max health every 10 seconds. Now as you can see, because it is based on a percentage, that 4% is pretty much going to be increased with the additional 84% of the overall structure health anyway, which is why in combination these two are so powerful. Now given that Base Carl and Power Base Nox are base game heroes, we can actually get them from the collection book in multiple different tiers. Now you do get a green Base Kyle off the bat early game anyway, so you don't need to worry about that. You will always have him, but you don't unlock the commander perk until evolution 2 anyway, so you will need to progress and then level them up to make sure that you unlock the commander perk. But if you don't find yourself getting lucky with power based Nox from your llamas, then what you can do is recruit power based Nox from the collection book for a minimum of 100 rare flux and 2000 training manuals, though I would say try and get yourself a higher edition because 2000 training manuals for a blue is pretty expensive, and you can also get a minimum of 100 epic flux for 750 gold each week from the collection book. So that's not too shabby. 750 gold will give you 100 epic flux. That in combination with 2500 training manuals will give you a guaranteed purple Nox. And it's also worth noting that they do add heroes into the weekly item store every week, so this is going to rotate and you can keep an eye on it. This was actually where I got my purple Base Kyle on this account. Now I would probably say that the combination of these traps and the two constructors I've just shown you is what makes them so strong and why I'm able to solo so many games I'm underleveled for without even having to fire a shot, and that is the combination of the sound wall with those constructors. Now what makes the sound wall so powerful is that normally when you're building and you want to stall husks, you create a wall and then you put a pair of stairs in front of it because the husks will attack the stairs. Now the sound wall can shoot through the stairs and make those husks dance. Now whilst those husks are dancing, it is going to give itself time for your constructor, base Carl and power base Nox combination of perks to start healing those stairs. During that time, this trap is going to be resetting itself, ready to set off once again. So in combination, you're pretty much stopping the husks from being able to attack any barriers that you have, whilst also making sure that the damage that they do is slowly getting healed and the damage that they are doing is minimized because you've got so much health on that structure anyway. The sound wall can be picked up from the collection book as always, and also it can be obtained from llamas. And for my second choice of trap, we have the ceiling tire trap, known in game as the ceiling drop trap. Now what makes this trap so good in my opinion is the way it stalls husks, and more importantly how the tires interact with the surrounding area. Now there are many perks to the ceiling tire trap, and there is one reason specifically though I chose it for the top 10 items that you must have in Save the World, and that reason is the way that the tires affect the husks in a stalling manner. So when these are placed, for example, over a ramp, the husks will be walking up the ramp. The tire will fall onto them, push them down the ramp and backwards away, whilst also using the momentum from the ramp which the tires have fallen from to fall further away from the ramp and into any oncoming husks. Those husks that are hit by the tires will also take damage and fall over, which means that they get knocked over, then they have to stand back up and then walk again towards the objective. So it stalls them whilst also doing a ton of damage. And of course you can pick it up from the collection book for Flux because it is a base item. And next we have the elimination category, in which I have bundled destroy the encampments, eliminate and collect, and rescue the survivors together, because this hero and weapon in combination makes these three missions an absolute breeze. Now I did not forget that we have Hunt the Titan now, which is a new mission type in Save the World where you focus on tracking down a mist boss himself. Now the difference is this is a single target focused mission, as where rescue the survivors, eliminate and collect, and destroy the encampments is more about taking out a lot of little husks versus one big one. And that hero is Stoneheart Farah, and she can be earned through the No Dancing questline or with a hero recruitment voucher. The No Dancing questline is a Valentine's event questline which we are nearing as of this upload, so just hold on a month and she will be in the next questline where you can obtain her there. So firstly, Stoneheart Farah's commander perk is on bow hit, the arrow splinter, dealing 60% of damage to 5 nearby targets. But also her standard perk is on bow hit, the arrow will splinter, only dealing 20% damage and to 3 nearby targets. But this is a great passive given that most of the time you can use her in your commander slots just to increase your Xenon Bow damage that will be the weapon of choice to use for the majority of missions that you are completing. Now what really ties this package together is like a power base Nox to a base Kyle is the vacuum tube bow to the Stoneheart Farah. So this weapon can be purchased from the collection book for 100 legendary flux and 1500 weapon designs, but the real beauty of this combination between Stoneheart Farah and the vacuum tube bow is the unique perk of this weapon itself, which is hitting an enemy with this weapon causes chain lightning to strike up to 6 enemies. And if you remember, Stoneheart Farah has a perk which splinters these shots, so they pretty much compound off themselves and you can get up to 30 enemies struck with this weapon combination. Now before we finish the elimination category, we are going to be giving an honorable shout out to our boy Dragon Scorch. This is a really good hero that you can get from the collection book at blue, purple or gold hero rarity, and that is because this hero is great for encampment mission given his commander perk Dragon Slash. It's a really good perk, you only need him alone with the Dragon Slash, though there are plenty of other heroes you can mix with him to make sure that that is even more buff than what it already is. Now next up we have the farming category. I'm not going to beat around the bush. There are 3 heroes that in tangent work really well together. Now some people have different approaches to how they want to farm with these heroes, but you are going to need 3 of them to make this work out. But well, you kind of technically need a special fourth, which we'll get to in a second. But first off, we have Cassie Clip Lipman. If you had to get one and it's your first one, this is who I'd recommend. The anti-material charge gives an additional 100% loot dropped from any of those punches. So if you're collecting any mechanical parts, batteries, nuts and bolts, everything you smash is going to give you 100% more in return for the ingredients. So even with her alone, she is going to be helping you get all those other materials and ingredients that you need to build your weapons, to build your traps. It's going to make things a lot easier. So I guess this is more of a bonus than a needed, but still, Aro Jess, I know you love to hear me say her name properly, Aro Jess. Now, she gives an anti-material charge attack efficiency, which means that you use less energy. Now, the thing is, the reason I kind of chose the farming to have the most like heroes in general is because nobody likes farming, so you kind of want to minimize how long you spend doing it and you want to just get it done fast, quickly. So therefore Aro Jess fits in good because anti-material charge, using less energy, things go faster. Now this is where things get spicy because the next recommendation is Fossil Selfie. Now for this hero to actually be of use in your farming loadout, you're going to need 2 dino heroes in total to activate a team perk. Now when you purchase a Fossil Selfie from the store or unlock him from Hit the Road, he is going to unlock a team perk called Blast from the Past. And what Blast from the Past does is take away all of your shield and give it to your health bar. That means that you never have a shield, therefore you will always be gaining energy whenever you're throwing anti-material charge punches and making this a great way to farm even faster. Now you're either going to have to wait for the Tales of Beyond quest line or you're going to have to wait till the Blasted Badlands Adventure season and get them from the llama shop. That is why this is a little bit of an annoying one, but nonetheless farming is annoying and this was just ideally the best way to get farming done as fast as possible. So you need 2 dinos. Fossil Selfie is the prime one. You use the team perk Blast from the Past so that you don't have any shield, therefore Fossil Selfie is always going to be perked or propped or whatever the word is to mean activated, and that is going to mean that you have got anti-material charge until the day you die. Not really, but it pretty much feels like it. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we do have access to channel emotes. That means you can join the channel for 99p a month and you have access to the famous Pepe memes in the emotes down below, and also you get a nice little icon next to your name whenever you comment, which upgrades over time. 99p a month, support your boy, and also meme comments, we love to see it. I hope this guide helped you out. If it did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will catch you all in the next one. Adios.